For the last while in the Big God story, we've been hearing about the hero kings of Israel, David and Solomon, and the amazing things that happened when they trusted God. They remembered God's promises to be faithful to them when they remembered Him. And they also remembered God's warnings about what would happen if they stopped being faithful to Him. Being a king was an important job, and it was their job to make sure that the people were always grounded in God. Sadly, not all of Israel's kings took this job as seriously. Some thought being a king was about just having fun. Other kings were angry that they had to follow God's rules and thought things would be better if they could just do whatever they wanted or follow the example of other countries that didn't know God. As you might imagine, with those kinds of kings, things did not go well, and God was concerned. So He sent messengers, prophets, to remind the people of what would happen if they kept going down this path. Unfortunately, the people didn't remember those warnings. They laughed at God's prophets. They mocked them and did not change their ways. Things went on like this for quite some time until God could take no more. God allowed a king named Nebuchadnezzar to rise up against his people. He brought his armies and they attacked. Into God's cities they went and they smashed all they could find. Down came the mighty walls protecting the cities, and they set fire to the temple the people had built for God. The armies left with any treasure they could carry, including God's people. They were not free anymore. They were back to being slaves, taken away from their home to the land of Babylon. It broke God's heart to see the home that He had given His people smashed, broken, and burned. But God's people left Him no choice. God always keeps His word, and God told them what would happen. The people only wanted to remember God's good promises, to be there for them, to bless them, to give them a future. But they forgot all about His promises of what would happen when they didn't follow Him. God always keeps His word.